Hi everyone, welcome in everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Welcome. Peace and prosperity to you as well. Welcome. Hope everyone is having a wonderful 4th of July. Welcome into the live skies. So this is your very first time visiting with me. Welcome. If you are a return visitor, welcome back as well, guys. You always know I'm so happy to have you a part of this community. So first and foremost, I just want to pay homage to the Most High, to my spiritual team, to my ancestors, for giving me the opportunity, for giving me the tools, techniques, and abilities that I have. Excuse me. I am so grateful for all the gifts and abilities that I have. I know that they were given to me for a reason, and I want to pay homage. I want to pay gratitude to my ancestors and to my benevolent ancestor, my cosmic ancestor, my galactic ancestor, my ancient ancestors, all of the ancestors, my maternal ancestors, my paternal ancestor, my father's ancestors. So I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to come on and speak with you guys. Not for long. I know everyone is really busy with the 4th of July and all of that kind of stuff. But I just want to just share a little bit what came to me in a dream. This was 4 days ago, so this was on 7/1/2024. At about, I guess about 4 something in the morning, I got up and I wrote it down, and I just wanted to share with you guys the importance of knowing that self. Who is shaping your reality? What does that even mean? And I'm just going to be speaking from my perspective and from my journey and what I have learned and what I'm still learning, how to accept all of me, the good, the bad, and the indifference, right? I know that I'm still growing on my spiritual journey. I am still learning so much, and I just know from this place that I'm at now, just being intentional about accepting me and loving everything there is to love about me, because at some point in time on my journey it wasn't like that, right? So as I am learning to be intentional about knowing who I am, relearning some things, rethinking some things, and really just carving away, if you would say, a severing some of the things that I was brought up in, that I was taught in church, that was instilled in me. And as I got older, I had to really just get in a place where things just didn't make sense to me. And I started questioning a lot of things. When I was in church, guys, and I was there over 22 plus years up until about 6 years ago. And so my whole path, or my whole understanding of what I thought was real, what I believed was real, what was being taught to me was real, started to fall apart. You know what I'm saying? It started to fall apart. And I had to go, for me, I had to go on a sabbatical so that I went on a sabbatical for about 6 months away from church, because I didn't want to hear anything that no one has to say. I didn't want to hear anything that was coming across the pulpit. I know something was tugging on me. I didn't know what that was at the time, but I knew something was pulling me away from religion. I knew something was pulling me away from the doctrine and the school teaching that I had been given. And I'm going to tell you why that is. But first, let me just acknowledge you guys that's in the chat. Be sure, if you're coming in for the first time, or if you're a return visitor or a sub, to give the video a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, support your girl. You know I'm out here in the YouTube streets trying to grow and all of that stuff. But nevertheless, I'm just really just appreciative appreciative for being in this space. So let me just give you guys a shout out. Ralph 636, know that self, absolutely. 1 FM, holla. Raju Bay, say hi, hello, hi everyone. But let me just get to this because I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. But thank you for spending your time and sharing your energy with me. Gratitude, I don't take that lightly at all. I know you could be doing so many other different things, but I just want to speak to those that are on their personal growth journey or their spiritual journey. I know everybody is in a different place on their journey. I'm not here trying to change anyone's mind or trying to get them to adopt my perspective about anything, but I just really just wanted to share with you how important it is to know yourself. And that takes for me, they took a lot of courage for me to step up for myself. You know what I mean? For me to step up for myself, for me to speak up for myself, for me to start questioning things. Things just didn't start to make sense. And I got to the point before I left religion, and I just remember I would always go to the man of God, and I would express my feelings and my concern that I was feeling that I was being led in a different direction, that being conformed and just conforming to religion and the doctrine that I was being taught or that I was being listened to, something, and I didn't know at that time, it was pulling me away from it. And that was happening probably 5 years prior, before I made the decision to step totally away. I knew 5 years before that something was pulling me to leave religion. Something on the inside of me was saying there's more to this than this. There's more to you than what you are listening to, what you have been taught, what has been instilled in you from a young child all the way up. And like I said, when I started questioning things and things just didn't start making sense to me, I was almost like caught in a cross space or at a crossway where I felt like I was, I don't know the word, but I just felt like I was being wrong, if I could say that, for even questioning what was being taught to me, that I was wrong for even questioning. That's how I felt, for even, going against the grain, so to speak. How dare you question your parents who has taught you, or your grandparents who has raised you, or your teachers. I felt some type of way that I was wrong for questioning people at that time who I thought was more knowledgeable, who had more insight than me, who had, I thought at the time, all the answer. How dare you question, what is being taught to you? But I could not, for a long time, I just knew, even though I was questioning, something in me was stronger than what was on the outside of me, if that makes sense. So even though I was having these questions and these doubts, and I was feeling some type of way for even having these questions and this doubt, something still deeper on the inside of me was like a tug of war. One thing was telling me, no, you should be questioning this, and other things say, yeah, you're on the right track. Question everything. Ask question about everything. Challenge what you are being taught. If they can't understand or accept that you have questions and you have doubts, and now I can say when the light bulb came on. That's the best way I can put it. When a light bulb came on, and I was like, this is just formality. This is I'm just doing this just because I know it's the right thing to do, to go to church, to be submissive, to the what I believe or perceive the authority figures. We were raised or taught you don't question the man or woman of God. You don't question those that are standing before you in the pulpit, giving you this doctrine and this information. But when I tell you something was stronger on the inside of me, was pulling me and tugging at me, and I fought it for as long as I could fight it until I decided to walk away. After I took that 6 month sabbatical, and like I said, I had to get to a place where I had to think for myself. I didn't want to hear all of this outside influence. I knew I had to get to a place where it was just me. And at that time, I said, God, and you can still say that, but I knew I had to get to the place where I had to think for myself. I had to start asking questions. What are you getting out of this? You've been doing this for 22 plus years. What has it gotten you? What has it? And I'm not saying those many years that I spent there did not give me a foundation, because it absolutely did. It gave me a foundation. It gave me stability from being out in, and I wasn't a street person at all, but it gave me stability. It gave me a place where I was being nurtured, where I was being loved. I didn't have that from from my perception, from my experience. I didn't have that from my family. So it gave me all of these things that I needed: the nurturing, the love, the support, the community, the tribe. It gave me all of that stuff that I knew that I needed, coming from a place of abuse, coming from a place of, in my experience, in my opinion, of neglect, not having that foundation, not having a father figure there. So going into church, what I perceive, or what we've always been in the church as known, going to a hospital. That's what it was referred to. Going into a hospital where you can get all of these, life support saving tools and techniques, to help restore you, to help sever these wounds and these strong ties that has bound you for so many years. So I would be remiss if I said that it did not give me a solid foundation when I needed it at the time that I needed it. I was a broken girl. I was a hurt girl. I was lost. I was confused. I was all of these things that you go through when you come from a place of brokenness, and you come from an environment of brokenness, and you come from a home of brokenness. So I was all of these things. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know that I was strong. I didn't know that I was taught that the greater one was on the inside of me, but I was still thinking it was God. I didn't know it was talking about me. It was talking about me. It was talking about my powers that I had, my abilities that I had. Everything that I needed was inside of me, but I didn't know it to the extent that all I had to do was tap in. They didn't teach you how to tap in. They didn't teach you how to go within, to pull up or to nurture or to develop all of these things that we know now, or that is being taught to us, that the greater ones on the inside. Meaning my higher self, meaning me being tapped into, and turned on to who I really am, not what I was being conformed into, not what I was being molded into, not what I was being, what I had been taught to be, this good Christian girl, this good Christian steward, obedient person. I never, in all of those years, I felt like I was giving up so much of me to be a part of this Christian community or this Christian environment. I stopped wearing makeup. I stopped wearing pants. I stopped, I was never a drinker. I never was a smoker, but I just gave up all the worldly things that they say was worldly to become a part of this community in this family. I gave up all of that because I wanted to be perceived as righteous. I wanted to be perceived as, a good Christian, doing the right thing, looking the part, saying the part. But to be quite honest with you guys, something on the inside of me was absolutely dying. I knew that, I felt that, but I didn't understand. I didn't understand it like I understand it now. I know something. I was giving up everything, even though I didn't have a solid identity, because that was broken from when I was, going through the SA trauma. So I didn't have a self identity. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my purpose. Um, I didn't have self esteem. I didn't have all of that stuff. Of course, you understand, coming from where I came from. But I said all that to say, even though I was conforming to being this righteous person, this good person, I was looking the part, and I wasn't faking the funk. I wasn't faking it. I wasn't in church faking. I was very serious, very committed, very on point when I was in it. I wasn't in it playing games. I was very serious. I was very um, on point, meaning to the point that I was so careful. I walked a fine line. I didn't step out of line. Like I said, I gave up all of this worldly stuff to conform to what I thought what would make me pleasing in the sight of God's eyes, right? So I was very scared of committing a sin and cursing and all of this stuff and listening to secular music and all of this stuff. When I said I was in it, I wasn't playing in it. I was in it for real, for real, for real. So um, when I knew that it was time for me to leave formality, when it was time for me to leave the the church, when it was time for me to leave, um, what is it, religion, when it was time for me to leave that type of I was in, it was not an easy decision to make. I still had my husband there. I still had my son there. We were a part of this. I was, on the praise team at one point. I was an usher. I was on the intercessory prayer team for many, many years. So I was committed to a lot of different things. And to leave that foundation and to leave that place of security to go and find yourself. What about to go and find yourself? Oh no, I have this stability for once in my life, and you talking about leaving that to go and find yourself because something on the inside of you was saying, "Come from amongst this. This is not the end all to be all. This is not your final stopping place." I'm being pulled out of a place where they had nurtured me for so many years. They had loved me for so many years. I'm leaving all of that to go and find myself. I thought I had found myself, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what am I going to look for? I found myself, right? No, that's not what it was. I knew there was something. I was well, and guys, when they were having praise and worship and all of that stuff, it was something on me that was, I've never wailed and cried and moaned like this in my entire being. They would have to put me in a different room, or they would have to quiet me down because something in my belly, something in my inner self was crying out, that was in so much pain, that was moaning. I'm thinking it was something maybe I was going through or something. I didn't know where that moaning and what that wailing and that pit, that stuff in the pit of my stomach was coming from. I didn't know what sound was coming out of my throat chakra. I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know what all of that meant. I just knew it was pulling me away, and it wasn't comfortable. Finding yourself, knowing yourself, trying to ascend to your higher self and get to know your higher self. It's not easy. It was not easy for me. It was not easy for me, but I knew it was something that I had to do on my journey. I knew that I was closing a chapter and a part of my life that I was not going to be able to go back to. I knew that. I knew that in my head. I knew that in my spirit, that once I closed this door to formatted religion, that I was never ever going to be able to go back there in the manner that I left there from, if that makes sense. I knew that. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone in the chat. Thank you. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you're coming in. Double tap the screen. Subscribe to the channel. Support your girl and all that good stuff. So let me just acknowledge you guys. Hello. Hi, Kim Jackson. Hey, sis. Hey, sis. Hey, Kim. Me too. Glad to be out of it. Yes, absolutely. But again, that was the hardest thing, Kim, to do because I didn't know what was on the other side of this. I just knew, and I can't even explain it at that time what it was that was leading me out of that, or what it was that was drawing me out of that. But I knew I was being pulled out of that. I knew that I was now finna embark on a journey that was going to take me in some deeper depths, that was going to open up my mind, that was going to that my mind was going to expand, that I was going to go on this journey, and I'm still on this journey of learning and growing and expanding my mind, of severing old teaching and doctrines and things that had become a part of my life, that had become a whole part of who I was for over 22 plus years. I didn't know where I was being led to, but I knew I was being pulled out of this. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was being pulled out of this, but I didn't know where I was going over here. I just knew that I had to trust the journey, that I had to trust the leading, that I had to trust my spiritual team, that I had to trust the Most High, that I had to trust myself. I'm like in this whirlwind, like, girl, what are you doing? It's just like, if I can use this, it's just like leaving an abusive relationship. You like, or a toxic relationship. It's like that type of thing. They tell you, the grass ain't always greener on the other side, right? You leaving Bob to go over here, but Bob is supplying, all of your needs. He's paying this. He's taking care of the household. He's doing this. He's doing that. And you talking about leaving this toxicity to go over here to be free, and then you're wondering, well, how am I going to make it? How am I going to survive? How am I going to do all this? But you knowing all the time that you got to leave this to get to this. It's like a double-edged sword. So now when I hear that thing, when I hear that phrase, a double-edged sword, it just take on a whole different meaning and a whole different, understanding for me. It just takes on a whole different meaning. So to get back to that, so I knew, Kim, that I was being pulled from over here, from your comfort zone, from your stability, from people that love you, from people that has nurtured you, and that has genuinely loved you, that has genuinely supported you, that has genuinely taken on the role of an absentee father, or giving you that maternal love that you felt, that I felt, that I was missing from my own blood mother. So I had a spiritual mom that was giving me all of this, and you talking about leaving, are you sure? When I tell you it was a tug of war, you've heard the cliche, you got a bad demon on this side, you got a good one on this side, and they tug of war against each other. I kid you not, that's exactly what I was in. That's exactly what I felt like, that I was in the middle, being pulled in both directions. I was pulled over here, I was pulled over here. I was questioning myself, I was doubting myself. Are you sure? But again, that goes back to, and I'm so serious when I said it was something on the inside of my gut that was saying, you can't stay over here, Tracy. You can't stay over here. I need you over here. I know you don't understand it. And it's just so many scriptures that comes up in my mind when I'm thinking about this, that my ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. Lean not to your own understanding. All of these things was playing in me. But I knew that what I was feeling, I couldn't deny it. I couldn't suppress it. I had suppressed it for as many years as I had before I finally decided that I had to walk away. What I was walking away into, what I was being led to, I didn't know, but I knew that I could stay here in this place. So I said all of that to say I had to develop trust in myself. I had to learn to trust myself. I had to learn to trust the voices that I was hearing, that I didn't understand all of this. I had to learn to trust my intuition, trust my gut, trust that if I trust an unseen God over here, I'm gonna have to do the same. I have to apply that same principle over here. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense to you, I'm trying to make it make sense. If I was believing in a God that I did see, if I gave up everything that was worldly to come to or be in alignment with something that was in the unseen, why couldn't I do the same for something that I know in my gut was pulling me from this? So I had to apply some of those same principles. That's why I said that foundation that I had, it worked for me. It gave me, I was able to play off of that, if I can use that word. It gave me some tools and techniques to use. So all of that stuff that I learned, that was taught, I was able to use it to pull me from over there. I was able to, I was just able to do that, what I'm saying. So as I was saying, when I started to really trust myself, when I started doubting what I was hearing in my spirit, because the same thing I was doing over here with religion. I was praying in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, if you want to call that too. So I was doing all these things in the unseen over here. And you mean to tell me you can't do the same thing over here? I'm hearing these same voices. I'm being told this. If I'm being led and guided by the Holy Spirit over here, so I got to trust these downloads and these uploads that I'm getting over here. Same thing, just two different energies. Two different energies, same scenario, right? So that's where I had to get to, and that's the place that I'm at now. I am no longer compliant to what I was taught, to what I believed in. I'm no longer compliant to doubting myself. I'm no longer in fear of trusting my intuition, of trusting my higher self, of trusting when I get downloads. Because the same way I was getting them over here, I'm just getting it in a different type of frequency and energy over here. I understand it a little differently. Holy Ghost, energy, frequency, however you want, whatever name you want to put to it. I just couldn't let that be confusing to me. I couldn't let that be a battle in my head that's going to keep me bound, keep me conformed, keep me in bondage to organize religion and organize this stuff. I had to take those same principles and use it over here, if that makes sense. This is my experience, right? This is my experience. This is what I had to learn on my journey, when I'm learning on my journey. So I just want to, and that's what was shaping my reality. So let me get to that. Okay, but before I do that, give me just 1 second to take a sip of this watermelon juice. Thank you, guys. Let me see what you all said in the chat. Yes, my support system, Kim Jackson, absolutely. It was absolutely my support system. And you talking about giving up your support system, giving up, this to go to a place where you don't know. Just like the children of Israel being pulled over here to go into a place. Moses leading them to the promised land. You talking about leaving this over here, promised land, to go over here. And this promised land, and you don't know what's over here. I'm just saying, make it make sense. So, like I said, the foundation helped me. I'm able to garner some of what that I've learned over there to make it make sense over here, so that I'm not confused and I'm still not stuck, or I'm walking in fear, walking in anxiety, walking in being double-minded and all that stuff. So what was shaping my reality? Confusion was shaping my reality. Complacency was shaping my reality. A lack of knowledge was shaping my reality. Fear was shaping my reality. Leaving my comfort zone was shaping my reality, because I didn't know what I was being led into. Like the children that was being led out of Egypt into the promised land, I didn't know what I was being led into. And I had to trust that. I just knew this thing, this burning, this gut wrenching energy, let me just use that energy that was in me, was like, no. I don't care how much you have to cry and wail. I know it's like pulling a band-aid off of a scalp, right? It's going to hurt. But I need you to trust me in this. I need you to know that you know that you know where I'm leading you to is to where I need you to be in this season, in this time, place, reality. You're not going to get what I need you to be. You're not going to be able to walk in your purpose or your destiny or fulfill what I need you to do and organize religion or doctrine or whatever. I need you to have an open mind. I need to pour into you some other type of teaching. I need to stretch you out of your comfort zone. I need to stretch you out of fear. I need to stretch you out of formality. I need to stretch you out of all of that gook that you wasn't even happy in anyway. I was, again, let me just say this. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to knock any of that at all. I'm not. It got me to the place that I am. It gave me a foundation. It gave me something to stand on. So when I started hearing foolishness over here, I can I can change those things around, those parables and all of that stuff. I got to learn how to use this in the right manner, in the right format, if that makes sense, right, Kim? I got to learn how to use what I was taught over here in the right format. I got to learn how to rethink this, you know what I'm saying, to make it work for me. So all of that stuff was shaping my reality. I was stuck in fear. I was stuck in formality. I was stuck in complacency. I was stuck, and I wasn't growing. I was there, but I wasn't growing. I wasn't growing spiritually. I wasn't growing intellectually. I wasn't growing mentally. I wasn't growing physically. How could I, when I was living in fear, walking in fear, afraid to listen to secular music, afraid to cut somebody out with the quickness? Because at one point in time before I got saved, now baby, I would cuss you out fast, quick, in a hurry, and won't even think anything about it and go on about my business. You know what I'm saying? I that's just where I was, and all that was coming from me being in this hostile place in my inner self, with all of this built up anger and frustration and hurt and trauma. So baby, I was quick to put you in your place and not even think about it. Not even just like that quick. I was quick on the trigger. to put someone in a place. Didn't matter who you were. But when I got saved, I had to, I couldn't do all of that stuff anymore. I couldn't wear pants. I had to wear dresses. Those ladies at church would tap you and let you know, no, 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 wearing dresses down to my ankle. I just changed my whole identity. I lost my identity. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was. And although I was in it for that many years, I wasn't happy being somebody outside of myself, if that makes sense. Because I knew that I wanted to listen to music. I wanted to do things. I wanted to go places. Um, I wanted to do all of this stuff that I thought was, I'm not saying crazy stuff, 'cause that's not how I was raised. Even in my home, I didn't come from that type of environment where I was in the streets running wild. I wasn't that type of girl. I'm not even going to put that energy out there. I wasn't that type of girl. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised in a home like that where I was buck wild in the streets. That's not the kind of girl I was. But I was used to having fun. I wanted to do fun things. I wanted to listen to music. I wanted to, dance. I was in the clubs. I was in the clubs dancing, but I was a teenager. I was doing that. I was doing all that stuff. But when I got saved, I knew I was being taught that was sin, that wasn't godly, that was, not pleasing in the sight of God, in the sight of, your community, that just wasn't pleasing. So I was conforming to that. All the while I was dying on the inside. I was not a happy girl. I presented myself to be happy. I had happy moments. I had happy times. But the real me was not a happy girl at all. Was not a happy woman. I was being conformed. I was being molded. I was being shaped. And I let them shape and mold me into what they thought I should be, or what I felt like being a good Christian was supposed to be. I allowed myself to be shaped into mold. So when it was time for me to break and to sever and to walk away from all of that, it was hard as heck to do. But I'm so glad I did. So what's shaping my reality now? Me. I'm shaping my own reality. I'm shaping my own thoughts. I am trusting my inner self. I am learning about energy, about frequency, about the words I speak. Although, I was taught, you know, um, be careful with what you speak, that your words shape your realities, that, life and death lies in the power of the tongue, that the tongue is a two-edged sword. You can have what you say. I know all of that stuff that I was taught, but it's on a whole different frequency and a whole different vibe, if that makes sense. So I said all that to say, guys, get to know yourself. If something doesn't feel right to you, and something that you have been a part of, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, organized religion, if something or your higher self, your most high, your spiritual team, your ancestors is pulling you away from there and it doesn't feel comfortable, it's like taking that sucker and candy from a child and it's screaming its head off because it's like, how dare you take this candy? It tastes so good. It tastes so good. A child is going to throw a temper tantrum. They're going to be upset. You taking away their candy and their treats. And that's how it is sometimes. You're going to have to give up something to really get to the place of authenticity. You're going to have to walk away from some people. You're going to have to sever ties with some things, people, places, and things that you thought was your community, that you thought was your family, that you thought was your home girl or your home boy. But if people are not pushing you to your greatness, if they are not supporting you to being your best self, without judgment, without condemnation, without making you feel some type of way, then those the type of people you don't need on your journey. People that are really supporting you are going to love you no matter what decision you make, whether it means leaving them or not. If it means that I need to be in this place where I'm trying to learn myself, develop myself, grow myself, understand myself, all of this, if they're not pushing you towards that, if they're not making you a better person just by words of encouragement, loving you, all of this stuff that you need on this journey while you're trying to know yourself and find your real identity, be your authentic self, loving who you are, flaws and all of that. If they can't support that and encourage you and push you towards that, then they're not the people that you need on your journey anyway. And I said in a lot of my videos, your tribe will find, girl, don't even worry about it. Your tribe will find you. If you stay focused, if you stay true to yourself, and I'm not saying all of it's going to make sense, but if you are learning to develop an alignment or a connection with your spiritual team, with your guardian angels, with your ancestors, with the Most High, if you are aligning and if you are making a connection with that, it'll lead you down the right path. You just got to. It's not going to make sense to you. You're going to think you made a big bad decision and leaving this. You're not maybe at the beginning understanding the voices of being able to, filter out or comprehend the voices, or you're going to be getting vision. You're going to be hearing things. Things are going to be, coming to you. You're not going to understand it. Don't even stress out about it. Just relax in it. It will unfold itself to you. When you get quiet, when you get still, it's not going to make you feel some type of icky way. It's going to be a comfort. It's going to bring and when you start to tap into yourself and your higher self and tap into these other gifts and abilities, the confirmation would come. I'm telling you, it would come. You just chill and you just go with the flow. Same as you did over here when you was trusting an unseen thing. You're going to have to use those same principles and trust this unseen thing that you are hearing, seeing, and envisioning over here. You trusted in the Holy Ghost. You trusted in the unseen over here. We'll have to do the same over here. Same principle, different energy, right? Same thing. Don't get stressed out about it. Don't worry about the people that's going to walk away from you. Woo-hoo! Thank you. One less thing that you got to do. Cut it in 7 times. Thank you. Believe me, they will leave you. See you, we want to be you. You're going to lose people. Not losing them. When your energy come in contact with some other energy that's not supposed to be on this journey, or it makes them look themselves in the mirror, maybe they're going to run fast, quick, in a hurry away from you. You ain't got to worry about being standoffish or being funny acting, or I'm over here on this journey now. I don't need you. You ain't got to do all that extra stuff. When your energy, your authentic self, come around all of these other negative energies, maybe they're gonna leave you so quickly. Girl, I'm busy. I can't do this. Girl, I can't go out to lunch. Girl, you call me, everything gonna go to voicemail. They gonna find all kinds of excuses to not be there for you, to not be there. Thank you. Woo! Thank you. So I can say thank you. One last thing that you got to do or worry about. Don't stress it. Don't worry about it. Don't get all bent out of shape about it. Your tribe will find you. I'm telling you, I was so one of these persons. I'm a people person, and I like to be around people. I like having friends. But understand, on this journey, it may get lonely sometimes. It may get lonely. You may cry some rivers. You may cry some tears. You may want to go back over here in this toxicity. You may want to go back over here and all of this stuff. But I'm telling you, stay the course, right? Stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. It's going. I had to learn, and I'm going to get off of here. So double tap the screen. Show your girl some love. Show your girls some love by double tapping the screen. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, support your girl. If you want more content like this, if you want more story times like this, if you want to just align with like-minded people, leave a 1 in the chat and say I'm in, I'm aligned, and let's get it. That was one of the hardest things that I had to learn to deal with on this journey, is not having a whole lot of people in your environment, in your space, because you just want to be in the mix of stuff. You want to have all the girl times, outings and this and that. Some of us are not used to spending time with ourselves. Some of us are not used to going places and loving on ourselves and taking ourselves out to dinner or to lunch or for a walk or reading a book or listening to music. We're not tapped in enough. We have not developed enough to know that it's okay to be with thyself. It's okay to not be in a place with a whole lot of people all the time. Learn to carve out some time to figure out who you are, to show yourself some real, genuine, authentic love and care. Carve out some time to run yourself a bubble bath, pour yourself a glass of wine, light a candle, go shopping by yourself, go to dinner by yourself. If you go back and look at some of my videos, you'll see me demonstrating some of that stuff. But it was not an easy thing to do, to love thyself and get to know thyself, because we have been conformed that we got to be in the midst of a whole lot of people. People that don't support you, people that don't really love you. Anyway, people that talk behind your back, people that do all this stuff behind your back, trying to set traps for you that you don't even know that they're doing behind your back, because they always laughing and grinning, in your face. But learning to love yourself for who you are. Learning to trust your intuition. Learning to just trust your spiritual team, the Most High, your God, whatever it is. I'm not knocking anything or anybody's stuff, right? I'm just sharing my experience and where I'm at on my journey. But the greatest thing that I learned, and that I'm still learning, because I ain't reached I'm not there. But what I have learned in these last couple of years is that I know who I am. I know what I will and won't accept. I know boundaries. I have boundaries. You cross those boundaries, you disrespect those boundaries, you are out of here. That's not even a discussion. And vice versa. That door swing both ways. I got to respect your boundaries. I got to respect, all the things that you have in place. But as well, that goes as well for me too. And if you can't respect my boundaries, you can't respect, I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm not asking you to align or, with me, but I'm asking you to respect who I am as the person that I am right now. I'm asking you to respect the journey that I'm on. I'm asking you to just respect that. And it's not going to be easy, guys. I'm telling you now, before you get all caught up in your feelings. It started feeling some type of way when you start losing friends in droves, like these artists out here are losing subscribers and, for being exposed and all that stuff. Before you get all up in your feelings, when people start to walk away from you, you better make sure that you are ready for this type of experience that you're going to be experiencing. It can be whatever it is however you make it out to be right. Um, yeah, guys, I just hope something that I said that was encouraging, that was uplifting, that was, I want to empower you to love who you are, to accept who you are, to not be afraid to venture out into something new, to empower you to be open-minded to learning new things and to experiencing, different people that maybe that's not from the sector of organized religion, being able to learn different language, meanings of words and what they mean, and all of that, and make it a good. It don't have to be gloom and doom. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be all of that. It's what you make of it. But just make sure that you have a supportive community or a supportive team. And if you don't, you can always come over here, girl, and find me. I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited. Thank you all so much again. Thank you for the double taps. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the new subs that are coming in. Make sure you put that one in that chat if you're ready to align with your girl. And just get some different tools and techniques at how I'm doing. What am I doing on my journey? How am I learning to navigate and pivot? How am I learning to cope by having, friends, genuine, authentic friends? How am I learning? What self-care things am I doing? What self rituals that I'm doing? What am I doing to keep myself sane on this journey? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, I am so happy and appreciative. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're coming in on a playback, double tap, double tap, double tap the screen, show your girls some love. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Again, if you're ready to connect, leave a 1 in the chat. Leave your link if you have subscribed to the channel so that I can go and support you and be a part of your tribe and just connect and align. I'm at the place now that I'm only aligning with like-minded people because I ain't got time to be stressed out. I ain't got time to be trying to explain a whole lot of stuff. I'm not saying that that regular people, I ain't gonna say regular people, I'm gonna say that people that's not in a place that I'm at, I understand that I can, but don't try to coach me or pull me back somewhere that I don't want to be because you're gonna get cut off just like that. So that's why I say aligning with like-minded people who can support you, who can love you, encourage you, push you. Y'all can still, get it and have fun. So yeah, guys, with that being said, I am so happy that I shared this video. And another thing, it's going to come a point on this journey when you're learning yourself, loving yourself, all of this. It's going to be scary. Do it anyway. Doing videos, tapping into your entrepreneurship gifts, or starting a new job, or getting to know people outside of your comfort zone, or getting to know people that you normally wouldn't have resonated with a year ago, but y'all are both in this weird people say we're weird, that we all of this stuff, but it's gonna be scary. But find time to laugh, find time to have some fun, find time to get out in nature, to get in the water, to meditate, to do nothing. If you don't want to do nothing, then do nothing. But it's going to be scary. It's going to feel scary. But it's okay. It's supposed to be. Just like it was scary over here, the same. I have to keep saying this, the yin and the yang. Just like it was scary over here in the organized stuff, it's going to be scary over here because you're tapping into uncharted or unfamiliar territories or people, places, or things. So it's going to be scary. But if you're always connected and aligning with your ancestor, asking them, give me signs that I would know. Don't give me some off the wall signs that's gonna be over my head that I'm not gonna catch. You know what I'm saying? Give me signs and give me me signs that I would recognize and that I would know. Not something on my head that's going to take me forever to figure out or to understand. Meet me right where I'm at. You know what I mean? Meet me where I'm at. You know who I am. You know all about me, all of that stuff. Just be plain and simple simplicity. I don't need nothing all over my head. I did all that over there. Just give me signs and give me confirmation and clarity right where I'm at. If you're asking them to give you clarity, if you're asking your spiritual team and all of that stuff to lead and guide you, give you clarity, give you understanding, sit yourself still and be able to listen so that you can get it all, so that you can soak it in all, and just filter it out. Some things may be for you, some things that may be not. But when you start to learn yourself, you'll start to know what's for you, what's not for you. As well, let me say this. I got to say this before I leave. I'm sorry, I got to say this. When I first started this journey a couple years ago, I'm just picking up and listening to everything, everybody in the spiritual community, in the conscious community, and whatever the community. I'm just gravitating towards all these people and things because I wanted to get an edification of what they were saying. I wanted to get some understanding of what they were saying. And when you hear these things and you're learning these things and you're getting this kind of edification and stuff from people, still go do your own research. And the best research is your spiritual team and your spiritual guide and the Most High ancestor telling you, because I'm telling you, I said all this to say, when I came, the people that I started off with in these communities, I'm no longer in that space with them anymore. Not because I think have grown so beyond their teaching, but when I just see certain things or things just start to feel, off for me with certain people, and not saying this has nothing to do, I'm just saying for me and my experience, and because I know who I am, I'm not having my thoughts, my reality, my informed about anything outside of me. Everything I need, I know now is inside of me. My power, my wisdom, my gifts, my abilities, all of that stuff. I know it's within me. I know what's within me. I've always known it, but I know it on a different level now. I have some understanding of it. So when your higher self or when your spiritual team or just your intuitiveness is telling you that this person right here, 6 months ago, I was right there with you. I mean, we was here, but now it's just something that's saying maybe you may need to kind of not give so much energy over here in this sector to this particular platform anymore. If you just started your spiritual team, I'm telling you, know things that you don't even know. They way ahead of you, right? They 10 steps ahead of you. They see things, they know things that we don't know. We heard the scripture that our thoughts are not God's thoughts. That he knows way more than we know. He knows our going and our coming. He sees things before we see it, right? Same principle, same thing. If something just don't feel right, I don't care how many followers they got. I don't care what it sounds like, but if something intuitively is telling you, and I had to do that with a couple of people that I have been following. I just see it going in a different direction. Them going in a different direction, and from my experience, my perspective, I'm just saying when things started coming to you and things start to not seem right to you, and you feeling like you need to pull away from certain people and things and platform, then do it. Don't even, especially if your spiritual team is telling you and pulling you, and you know something is tugging you away from this, don't even second guess it. Just do it. Just be obedient and be honest with yourself. And it really, at the end of the day, trusting yourself, right? Trusting, that's all what it's all about, Lord. Trusting yourself. Trusting your innate feelings and intuitiveness and being able to tap in to hear things and see things. And it may seem like, well, why, don't, why are they acting like this? What? Girl, just do it and save you a whole lot of time and trouble and all that kind of stuff. Just do it. But with that being said, loves, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for this time, your energy. I hope something was said or presented to you or encouraged you on this journey. Double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap the screen. Show your girls some love. So you guys some love. Support the channel. Leave a one in the chat if you're ready to align with your girl. Share the video with someone you think this may resonate with. If you want to become a part of this loving glow up tribe with your girl Goddess of Color. And with that being said, you know my motto, always protect your energy. Protect your energy with love and light. This is Goddess of Color, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace and love.